with it.
No, if only it were that easy. So we decided that now that the camera is a little more clear, that we would show you some of the tomatoes and rate them and tell you how everything has been going. And Sean is going to be the tester of the tomatoes. I thought you guys might enjoy this a little bit, and it's some extra content on my channel for you guys midweek. So I'm just gonna reach into this big bucket here, and we're gonna see what we get. I don't think Sean's gonna test this one because it's big. Oh, okay. Yellow Dr. YG. We did try this one, remember? I thought that these would be bigger, and I also thought that because it's supposed to be like a beefsteak slicer, so I thought it would be like bigger. What did you do to the dog?
She's the dog.
I know. What'd you do to her? So we sliced one of these up and we put salt on it and we ate it, and we will not be growing this next year. We have another variety of yellow tomato. I put this basket in a really bad place. Let me just move it because that's just not a good place for it. Okay. The other variety of yellow tomato we have are the tiny yellow pears, and it's got something on it. Other tomatoes. We like the yellow pears a lot. When they first started producing, very prolific. This plant, I kid you not, looks like it is dying and has been the whole time, and it just keeps popping little tiny yellow pears off the plant. We have so many. You need ear. Now you got one for each ear. When we first tasted them, they were 10 out of 10, and then we tasted the chocolate pears, which now you give them a 4 or an 8. 8. Okay. So I don't have any chocolate pears to show you. I don't think. Oh, wait. I do. They're not as pear-shaped, but these are the superstar of the garden this year. They're a 10 out of 10. They're the #1 winner. We will be growing many, many, many of these next year. Now, the plants did get really, really sick, and they're just dead. I think we got like 10 of these. Whereas like every time I go to the garden, we get about 10 yellow pears. Do you want to eat this? I'm surprised it made it in the house. I kid you not, because usually they do not. Those chocolate pears are so good. We will be growing a lot of them next year. Now, when I made my What Am I Planting video, I told you guys that our star in the garden is definitely the black chocolate cherry. We have a ton of those because we love them so much that we planted a great deal of those. They are still a superstar. They're still very, very good. They're almost all about this size, about the good size of a marble. I think
it's a big marble.
Shh. What's the thing? The big marble. What's it called?
Big marble.
Oh, come on. When you start to play, you use the starter marble, or it's the one you flick.
Big marble.
Okay, fine. Anyway, they're all about this size. I think they're better the darker they get.
What I think is interesting about this tomato is that it's changed its taste over its life cycle.
Yes, it does.
It was very, very robust and very acidic the first few batches we got.
Yes.
And as the life cycle of this tomato plant has carried on, it has become more juiceful, filled with juice, as well as more sweet.
Tiny one.
As the plant's life cycle has continued, which I find very interesting, because like I said, it's almost like they came, I would say, from like 2 different plants, but
yes,
it was the same plant, and the fruit has changed drastically over its life cycle. So
And I threw it at you. I will tell you, this plant was so resilient, and it might be all tomatoes, but we actually had one break in a thunderstorm, and I was going to throw it away. And then I realized, I was like, oh, hey, we could try to propagate this. I don't know what I'm doing. So we stuck half the plant in a bucket of water for so many days, and it grew all these roots, and we planted it. So then we got an extra plant because the half of it that was still in the ground is still giving us tomatoes, and then the other half's in a bucket, and it's still giving us tomatoes. So
That was my idea.
it was a win, and it was a good idea. It was a good idea. So I pulled another Dr. Witchy out. We still have these because, like I said,
got a weird birth
he
defect.
does have a weird birth defect. I go the wrong way. But I don't know, I kept.
They taste like water.
Yeah, they don't. I was really excited for yellow tomatoes. Less acidity.
Yeah,
you
was
get heartburn. So
right,
we were
that was
like, oh, okay. Yeah, no, it was a no.
Well, like that was the thing, is like they were supposed to be less acidic, but there's like no acidity
None.
at all.
None.
Like, it just tastes like water.
But I don't understand. The yellow pears are so good.
Yeah, I don't.
Maybe because they're
know.
tiny.
It tastes like nothing. Like really,
So
like
the next one is one that I was super excited to grow, but I don't think I'll grow it next year. He might not like this very much, but the Brad's Atomic Grape tomatoes, they are so neat looking. I kid you not, so neat. You don't have to eat it if you don't want to. He loves them. I don't like the way they taste. Go ahead.
my thing with these is I was really excited for these tomatoes, but like the initial bite is really good, but it leaves like the nastiest aftertaste.
They're very
It tastes like you just shoved a handful of dirt in your mouth.
dirt. Well, Jess from Roots and Refuge said that they're very hoppy, and I get that. I get a little bit of like beer, which makes me very sad because I like beer.
Right.
I don't like those. And
It's just the aftertaste.
you don't
is
have
just,
to eat it. You can.
well, like they're so cool looking, and like the inside, if y'all can see, it's like green. It's like a pepper almost. It's very, very good when you first bite into it, but that aftertaste is awful.
Did you bring the salt?
I thought you brought the salt.
I didn't bring the salt.
You didn't bring the salt.
I mean, you've been eating straight up without any salt.
Okay.
Okay, eat them. Somebody needs to eat them.
This.
We have some. You don't have. Okay.
I'll be back. Y'all.
Quietly. So, the next one that we have, I was super excited about because it is called the Early Treat Tomato. And we planted these. They were supposed to be like 58 days instead of 80 days. And I was like, oh, they're going to be early. They're even earlier predicted than the cherry tomatoes. And we'll get some tomatoes early. Now they do change in size. Like this one is on the smaller side of the Early Treat tomatoes. Sean just ran into something. But most of them, I would say, are about this size. This is a pretty good size for us. I think anything bigger than this is too big. We're not slicer people. Next year we'll only be planting cherry tomatoes. But these Early Treats were not early. They were not.
They were one of our latest tomatoes.
Yeah, they in fact just start. Like, I have so many of them because this plant just went insane in the last week, which is way beyond everything else. I think I have like 4 more in this bucket.
the space.
Yes, we did get 2 climbing triple crops. They were red beefsteaks. They were good. They tasted good. I expected that plant to go insane, and it never did. Yeah, there's another one growing out there. They were just
tomatoes.
Yeah, they're just a red beefsteak. I grew them because they were supposed to be so prolific. Disappointed. I will try again next year. We had a lot of sickness with our tomatoes. Not that you can tell, but with our tomato plants this year, mostly I think because I planted them too close together. Next year we're gonna do raised bed gardens, and it's gonna be a little bit different. The plants that are in the ground over on the other side are not sick, and they're very close together too. So I don't know. As far as the corn, we didn't get any corn.
Well, no, we had one.
Well, okay.
But we pulled it early.
They all fell over, guys. It's corn. I did not expect any.
I expected it to be way sturdier.
Yeah, I didn't think you had to support corn. It was pretty well pollinated, the one that we got, which I was quite worried about. We did get some radishes. We did get some carrots. I'm gonna plant some more. They were little. I planted those too close together too. I was trying to make the most of my space. I did it wrong. Okay.
We don't have any peppers yet.
No peppers. The plants have some flowers on them, but there aren't any actual peppers out there.
We had to pull.
Yeah, we had a
squash.
Yeah, we had a zucchini, and it never got pollinated.
And it just started to take over. We had
no
to take
pollinators. Yes, it did. It took up so much space, and it was just we had 2, 3.
It just kept growing and kept growing, but never came to fruit.
No, nothing. Never. And I even tried to freeze the male flowers and watch for the female ones so I could pollinate. No, we never got any female flowers to pollinate, which is why we didn't get any fruit. We do have some honeydew growing.
Yes, one honeydew.
We lost several of our melon plants because the guy that mows our lawn mowed them down. Partially my fault. I
one of each.
Could have labeled them better. No actual cantaloupes growing though, right?
No. Cantaloupe or watermelon yet, but they're both over 110 days on their germination.
Yes, they do take a long time. I pulled our first cucumbers this morning. You should have brought those in here so we could look at them, but it's okay. If you follow me on Instagram, y'all have seen all this and you're probably so bored. We haven't tried the cucumbers yet, but they are the type that do not need pollinators, and I expected that plant to go crazy, and it did not. It has many, many flowers, but not many
zero fruit.
And it's starting to die. Now, our first round of cucumbers did die, and that's why these are so slow. But these plants are starting to die out already, probably from the heat. I think they're just getting sick. So
got a lot of green
you.
Every herb we planted grew to full maturity.
No.
Everyone I cared about.
Purple basil.
We got basil.
We didn't get
basil.
We didn't get no purple basil.
Basil.
I wanted to watch it grow.
Basil.
Basil is not basil. Spicy basil is way different than basil.
A lot of basil.
We do.
A lot of oregano.
I don't know what to do with it all. If y'all have tips, I would love to know. And don't say pesto, because I don't like pesto.
We have a crazy amount of mint.
Yes.
Because we planted 3 types, and all 3 plants went absolutely bananas. Like that.
It wasn't 3 types, it was only 2.
Spear, sweet, and pepper. I planted all 3.
I also planted lemon mint.
So 4.
And it died. The squirrels really helped with my rail boxes. They just little suckers trying to bury their acorns. Yes, we have harvested a lot of herbs. They're drying.
Already growing back.
It's crazy. I have a ton of lemon balm that I don't know what to do with. It smells so good, but I don't know what to do with it. I love lemon scented stuff, so that's why I grew it. I know you can make it into tea. You like tea?
Well, yeah, but that doesn't mean I like lemon balm tea.
You like lemon tea? Right? This is how our entire relationship goes, guys. Every time, if you just sat and watched us, this is how we are all the time. We don't put on a show for you on the camera. This is just us. So, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you have any questions about anything that we grew or how we did it, I would love to answer them in the comments below. You'll see the video for next year. I never did a garden tour. Number 1, because I can't figure out how to do it. I'm truthfully honest. And number 2, because the garden, after about 2 weeks, looked like a teetotal disaster the whole time. We could not keep up on the weeds. So that is why we will have raised beds next year.
See, we actually just went for the natural approach is what it was. We just let everything grow. Everything.
The jungle approach.
Weeds, everything.
Everything grew.
Everything. We just let it go.
You should see my garden. It's insane. If you follow me on Instagram, you can tell how tall my weeds are because I can't, the way it rains here, I just can't keep up with them. So we're going to build raised beds next year. We're going to put weed fabric down. We're going to put cardboard down, and then we're going to get compost and good soil and stuff to grow. We're going to start on that pretty soon since Sean wants to grow garlic, and we're going to grow that over the winter. So follow that because it'll be coming, and I'm sure it'll be interesting. We will also have another surprise here for you on the channel. Probably not my next video, but the one after that. I'm talking about this. Yeah. So anyway, thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. It definitely wasn't informative